Okay, so this model of the lunar cycle is not my favorite by any means. I think it's really confusing to look at because it sort of suggests that the moon, like you should just draw every single one of these little moons as being like, you know what I mean? Like the light should be facing the sun in every single one, right? But that's actually not what it is. And I'm going to talk about what that actually is. So if you have this, it's included in this absent assignment. You can do this with me on Google Drawing, or you can download it and print it, or you could download it and just color on it, or you could do it on your paper. I don't care. Just do this along with me in some way. All right, so this is a really confusing model because even though we're going to draw in all of the phases going from a new moon to a full moon, okay, I'm actually going to delete those, but we're going to draw in all those phases, but we are going to draw them from the perspective of what we see from the ground. Okay, so from the ground, we see something very different from what it would be if you're looking at it from a bird's eye view, which is what we're seeing right here. So think back to when we did the moon modeling thing, and you had a person standing here as your Earth, and then you had a person standing here as your sun. And when the moon was in this position, how did the moon look? Okay, so it should have been a new moon. So you would color in that entire thing. Okay, I'm just going to leave it like that. And then the opposite of that would be the full moon. That was the day, or that was like October 22nd or so. Sorry, I'm a perfectionist on that. Okay, so you have your new moon. You can label these with me if you want. And you have your full moon. Okay, now halfway between a full moon and a new moon, we're going to go here. And it is going to be a quarter moon. Okay, but it is waxing. Okay, so it is waxing quarter. Sometimes this is also called the first quarter, but we're just not going to do that in my class. Okay, and then opposite of the waxing quarter is the waning quarter. See how it's not the greatest model, because you would think that in all of them they would look like this because they would have the light on the side facing the sun. But really, it's just when the moon's in that position, what does it look like from the Earth? And then we can fill in the rest of them. Okay, so between a new moon and a waxing quarter, that is going to be waxing crescents. And both of them are going to be waxing crescents. So I'm going to draw this one. Like that. And then this one I'll draw a little bit bigger so you can tell that it's getting big. Okay. And then between a waxing quarter and a full moon, then you have waxing gibbous. Okay, and for waxing gibbous, the light is still going to be on the right side. So this one I'm going to draw just a little bit more than half. Okay, and then this one I'll draw way less than half. Or way more than half. Okay, so those are both gibbous. Those are both waxing gibbous, even though they're different sizes, and the waxing crescents are also both. Okay, so the full moon we don't have to do anything with. So let's go full moon to waning quarter. Now it's going to be waning gibbous. Okay, so you can kind of see that it goes backwards. So it goes new crescent, quarter, gibbous, full. Now back to gibbous, quarter, crescent. Okay, and we're waning this time. Okay, so that means that for this one, most of the moon, oh, sorry, I did that wrong. For this one, most of the moon is visible, and you only see the part that's on the left side. And then for this one, you're seeing less of the moon, but it's still more than half of the circle. Okay, so those are still gibbuses. All right, and then we can focus on waning quarter to new moon. It's annoying me that they're not all the way colored in, sorry. Okay, waning quarter to new moon. So we talked about how it goes backwards, right? It goes new moon, crescent, quarter, gibbous, full, gibbous, quarter, crescent. So we are still waning. And it is a crescent. Okay. Now for both of those, that will be true, but they'll look a little bit different. So this one is just a little bit less than half that you can see. And then this one will make just a tiny sliver. So you color in the part that you can't see. And then eventually you should have something that looks like this. And so it's not the greatest model in the world. However, this will be on the quiz and it comes up on the MCAs later on this year.